Chapter 71 Massage Zhu Zhuqing. Fight if you don't agree. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What's a guy to do with a disciple who's gone rogue and won't listen to his master? That's what I said. Yu Xiaojiang jumped in, adding. But I was just spitballing back then. Soul bones can definitely be absorbed, but there are levels. Like this martial soul fusion thing, the Tang Sect encyclopedia says if martial soul compatibility is over 60%, you get resonance. But that's entry-level stuff, the power is just okay. The higher the compatibility, the stronger the fusion. Got it. Based on the Tiger Eagle, this soul bone is killer for agility and power attackers. Reading between the lines, he was cutting Tang San from the running. Tang San was fuming. Okay. So that's how it is, huh? I've been hauling your butt around for over a month. I've earned my keep, right? And you stab me in the back. You old snake. Hope you rot in hell. The host is prompted to get Yu Xiaojiang to cut ties with Tang San, and snatch some of Tang San's luck. Reward, all soul bone years plus 500. Whoa. Now we're talking. Tang Lan glanced at Tang San, who looked ready to blow a gasket, but then saw him clamp down on it. The old ways still held him back from ditching Yu Xiaojiang right then and there. Tang Lan felt a pang of disappointment, so he laid out the plan. Since we can't just argue, let's do a competition. I've set up a soul fighting match with the Qiando Royal Academy team in a month. Whoever kicks the most ass of the three gets the soul bone. Dai Mubai's eyes snapped open. He was writing it off, and now this? He's second only to Tang Lan, so he's got a shot. Sect leader, I'm in. Dai Mubai yelled. Me too. Tang San crowed confidently. My third soul skill is gonna be fire. Yep. Just like always, the third soul skill is spider web restraint. I'm gonna crush it. Zhu Zhuqing vowed. After cooking up Tang Lan's midnight snacks last night, Zhu Zhuqing could feel her martial soul and Tang Lan's thunderflame hammer in sync almost all the time. When that martial soul fusion hit, she'd be one bad mama. And get this, Tang Lan taught her the immortal seal technique and the dragon capture. Girl's got skills, she understood half in one morning, she'd nail it in a month, then watch out. Tonight, I'm hitting Tang Lan up for some extra training, pick his brain about cultivation. Zhu Zhuqing mused, seeing everyone fired up. Tang Lan nodded, that's what he wanted, get them battling it out, even letting Tang San think he had a chance, but in the end. Zhu Zhuqing all the way, rack up them system rewards. Tang Lan agreed. Alright, 2 days rest. Nah. Zhu Zhuqing shot back. I can start tomorrow, and so it begins. I'm dropping my vacation and getting to it tomorrow. Dai Mubai barked. Oscar's jaw dropped. Boss Dai. We had plans, man. Dai Mubai gave him an apologetic look. Got to fight for that soul bone. Oscar curled his lip, but couldn't argue. Soul bones were rarer than hen's teeth, and 10,000-year ones. Fuggit about it. Tang San was about to chime in when Tang Lan waved him down. I need you to go with me to the Qibao glazed sect tomorrow, work on the assembly line and casting. Tang San looked glum, now he was gonna fall behind. But he knew this was important stuff, so he took it like a man, and Zhu Zhuqing was fighting back a smile. Was he trying to help her? Hold up, Tang San's biggest strengths were his hidden weapons and the guns Tang Lan gave him, but all that stuff was no-go in official Soul Master matches, and look, it's just an exhibition match, no need to get out the heavy artillery. That meant just white, yellow and purple-blue silver grass. Then there's Zhu Zhuqing, who's just a level 2 Soul Master. One less soul skill than Tang San. But Tang Lan's level is high. If she busts out Tang Lan's martial soul fusion, no one's standing after that. Dai Mubai, same as Tang San. Bottom line. You want to be as beastly as Zhu Zhuqing, are you banking on someone else? She was gonna grab that soul bone herself, screw relying on guys. For outside conditioning, I've been grinding Lingbo Weibo, got it to level 29 last month. If I grind for the next month, maybe I can hit level 30 and get the soul ring. Tang San and Dai Mubai's third soul rings are only around 2,000 years old. And I got the whale glue to stack 1,200 years, and Tang Lan can buff some of the years. Maybe with the seal of immortality, 3,500 years ain't bad. Now that's an edge, Zhu Zhuqing hauled but right to Zhao Wuji. Hall Master Zhao, you got time right now. Translation, we're going to hit the field pronto. Zhao Wuji was gonna pass. Dude was swamped, then Dai Mubai wandered in. Hall Master Zhao, you work hard now, drinks on me when it's done. Dai Mubai sweetened the deal. Any bar in Tiando City. Zhao Wuji gave a sigh, he couldn't say no to that. He nodded, Tang San immediately perked up. Hall Master Zhao, my bro, and I are going to the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile Sect tomorrow, I'll train with you when we get back. Just, whatever. Zhao Wuji was already sunk. Guess I'll use my soul skills while doing stuff. Tang Lan cracked up when he heard that. Easy, old Zhao. I'll have a chat with my brother and send someone smart to help you. Zhao Wuji chuckled, scratching his head and playing dumb. I ain't saying nothing, but if you're nice to your boys, sect leader, that's aces with me. Tang Lan laughed and moved on, time to hit the field and time to chill. Oscar was spinning, watching the other 3 leave. Zhao Wuji looked at his room, everyone was grinding, could he even take a nap? There's 8 guys on the squad. You're stacked with 7 regulars on the team. The extras are just backups. Oscar was in no mood to be a backup, he sighed and tagged along with Zhao Wuji. Hall Master Zhao, count me in. A few words from Tang Lan got everyone hyped. Yu Xiaojiang felt like a loser. Well, all that happened because there was a 10,000-year soul bone up for grabs, can't say too much. Sect leader Tang has deep pockets. Xiaojiang, you were right to hitch a ride. Lu Erlong said with feeling. Yu Xiaojiang just smiled, like a secret. He wasn't just here for the small potatoes, he was here for midnight. Zhu Zhuqing dragged herself back to her room, and found Tang Lan. The last thing she wanted was a repeat of last night, not that she was against anything, the timing was just trash, she was racking her brain for how to get out of this. Tang Lan pointed to the bathtub, steaming and ready. Rough training, must be wiped. Unwind with a tub. Tang Lan gave her a sincere smile, that threw Zhu Zhuqing for a loop. She really got him wrong, but then she looked at Tang Lan, standing there, and her face went cold. Men, she double cultivated last night. Girl was set, she shrugged off her jacket, showing a black alloy vest, she unbuttoned the top. Snap, 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 the buttons popped as her chest got bigger. Before Tang Lan could even drink that in, Zhu Zhuqing summoned her martial soul and flew out of her clothes in a blink, and she was splashing around. Tang Lan only caught white skin and holy light. What a tragedy, why didn't he use the 2 soul bones in the eyes to power up the dynamic vision? But it wasn't a big deal. Tang Lan moved to the tub, grinning. The water's a little chilly, I'll fire it up for you. Zhu Zhuqing didn't say anything. Tang Lan read that as permission. Tang Lan went topless and sank in. He fired up the 9-yang divine skill to heat the water. He also pumped a little energy into the water. Zhu Zhuqing was sipping on it, instant stress relief. Tang Lan raised his hand. I'll hit you with some chi massage, you'll be back on the field tomorrow. Zhu Zhuqing didn't refuse, happy to hear she could train like normal. Well, the next day, Zhu Zhuqing, who was the last to stop training last night, was the first one at the training grounds. Looked like she'd pulled an all-nighter. Dai Mubai, who was feeling his muscles, was pretty salty, but nothing new. After a big conditioning block, Tang Lan would pump everyone up with 9-yang magic chi. The effect was instant. Even better than a medicinal bath. Without that, he'd been through over a month of conditioning already. Their bodies would be dust by now. Right now, Dai Mubai was green-eyed about Zhu Zhuqing hooking such a sick partner. When someone's out of your league, you can't even be jealous. Dai Mubai knew he couldn't touch Tang Lan, and the real reason they were here was his punk move to bail. This was the hole he dug. No one to blame but himself. I ain't running no more. I'll get my hustle on and take everything back. Well, except Zhu Zhuqing. Dai Mubai buckled and got to work. Tang Lan rarely slept in. he was massaging Zhu Zhuqing all night, and then she was giving him a massage once she was done. Total cycle, the machine runs. Tang Lan was caught by Zhu Zhuqing's hook, asking about the immortal seal, stayed up, he wasn't tired, but he just wanted to shut down. Laying in Zhu Zhuqing's fragrance was fire. An hour later, there was a tap. Bro. Tang San called lightly. Time to move out, wanna hit the field. Tang Lan was wide awake. Yep, that's Hero Hill. The will gets wiped. But thinking about Zhu Zhuqing's figure, Tang Lan smiled again. Time to work. Bang, bang. Big brother. You in there? Tang San was fired up. Tang Lan walked over and pushed the door. Before he could speak, Tang San grabbed his hand and dragged him to the top of the building. Wait. Rooftop. Arrived, he saw two 10-foot golden-winged birds preening. They looked to be 4,000 years old. These docile flying beasts never strike humans, they never eat grass or meat, they beef up on metal, they're really fond of gold, but gold mines in the wild are hard to find, and they're trained by humans. Their feed bill is too high and they get gassed easy, so they're mainly used for short runs carrying files, real cash. The Qibao glazed sect uses them as mounts. No one's faking it. Ahead of Garuda, .2 disciples dressed in Qibao glazed pagoda thread saluted Tang Lan properly. Yo, sect leader Tang, sect leader Tang. The sect leader wants us to pull you two in. Let's load up. Garuda bent down, showing the big seats. Tang Lan jumped up in awe. He made sure they were strapped in. Two disciples hopped on Garuda's neck and bumped his head. Garuda got it. He took off, fluttering smoothly, headed outside Tiando City. Tang Lan and Tang Lan were soul masters. The wind was no Tang, but the two Qibao glazed sect disciples summoned their guard spirits to break the wind. 5 soul rings of white, yellow, purple and purple at his feet. 5 ring soul king is the driver. Yep, this is Qibao glazed sect. Digging the view, within half an hour, they were at the Qibao glazed sect. It was in a mountain range, with buildings rising. It was as lit as Tiando City. The golden-winged bird looped right through the gate and dropped in an opening. Ning Fengji and Ning Rongrong, and Sword Douluo and Bone Douluo were all there. Must be sick to be sick. Tang Lan wasn't gonna sweat it. The golden-winged bird jumped and he hugged Ning Fengji. Bro, you always busy. I just came to see where this was. This is Landi's first visit. I can't let you down. Ning Fengji smiled. He waved by Ning Rongrong and Chen Xian, pointed up at Gu Rong. You know Rongrong and Uncle Jian. This is our sect protector Douluo, the level 95 bone. This tree looked haggard, skin and muscles pulled back. His face was sunken. He wasn't muscle-bound, his muscles were huge. And he was 2.5 meters tall. Like a big zombie, but at that moment, he gave Tang Lan a bear hug. I beat Chen Xian a few times. All thanks to you. Got it. Tang Lan was about to speak. Who lost? Chen Xian said, if I used everything I had, could I break your D? Gu Rong gave an evil smirk. You bring it all, and I'll defend it. You lost. Chen Xian saw red and was about to go off. I mean it. I'm gonna get busy. Who's afraid? Gu Rong was ready. Back mountain. Let's go. Black mist rose behind Gu Rong, and he vanished. Chen Xian was sword-walking, turning into a streak and blinking away. Ning Fengji and Ning Rongrong didn't know what to say. Why was this a thing? But then, Tang San looked a little sick. Maybe he thought that was them showing off. All good. Tang Lan didn't flinch. These two have been with each other for life, so Tang Lan was never sick of it. Chen Xian and Gu Rong respected Ning Fengji. He thinks Tang Lan is just green, that's chill. Tang Lan was already yanking. Uncle Bone and Uncle Jian are pretty chill. Ning Fengji never looked at Tang Lan like he was messing. He gave a sigh. My bad. Ning Fengji said with a dry laugh. Yeah, Uncle Tang, don't trip. Ning Rongrong said. Bone Dad and Jian Dad never liked each other. Tang Lan smiled and called it trash mood. Tang San choked. Listen. Chapter 72 Domain Evolution. Mutation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tang Lan was about to blow the whistle on this whole thing. Tang San was fuming. He'd ditched his training to come to the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School, and this was the payoff. He wasn't going to fly off the handle. His brother probably felt he couldn't because of his position as leader, so Tang San would do it for him. He immediately burst out, "This is unbelievable. We come all this way, and this is the thanks we get from your 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School. Something has to be done." He didn't even get to finish his sentence. Tang Lan summoned his life soul Blue Silver Emperor and clapped a hand over his mouth. He gave Ning Fengji an apologetic look. "He's just been stressing out about this soul bone competition. I brought him along to train today, and he's feeling a little resentful about falling behind." Ning Fengji wasn't bothered by it. Actually, he was pretty intrigued by this soul bone competition. He'd never heard Rongrong mention anything about it. "Uncle Tang, what soul bones are up for grabs?" Ning Rongrong asked, all curiosity. "I've only been gone a day. Why is everyone talking about soul bones all of a sudden?" Tang Lan chuckled and quickly filled her in on the Tiger Eagle's left arm bone situation. Ning Fengji got it. He'd jumped to the wrong conclusion. This Tiger Eagle arm bone was obviously no good for an support type soul master and had nothing to do with Ning Rongrong. "In that case, Rongrong, please keep an extra eye on the mistress when the time comes," Ning Fengji directed. Tang San's eyes widened. "Right." During team fights, the support role would focus on keeping him alive, and that souped-up 7 Treasure Glazed Tile Pagoda would really deliver. He looked at Ning Rongrong, full of hope. Ning Rongrong thought about Zhu Zhuqing. She'd only been gone for a day. That little hussy probably already made her move during the night raid, right? If I help her get the soul bone and get her to help me win over Uncle Tang, that's fair enough, isn't it? With that thought in mind, Ning Rongrong smiled and said, "Of course, I'll play it by ear, depending on how the battle's going." A non-committal answer, just practicing Tai Chi, but Tang San heard, "If the situation allows, I'll take extra good care of you." The anger about missing training vanished in an instant. At the same time, a spark of understanding lit up. That's why his brother brought him here, to find a shortcut. "That's my brother." Tang Lan let him off the hook at just the right time. "Then thanks, Rongrong," Tang San beamed. "If another good soul bone comes along, I'll help you snag it." Ning Rongrong just smiled, saying nothing. Inside, she was totally disgusted by Tang San's flip-flopping attitude. What a user. Boom bang clatter clatter star. The mountains in the distance lit up, and there was a huge, thunderous racket. No need to ask, those two must have started going at it. "Landy's right," Ning Fengji said, reminiscing. "Uncle Jian and Uncle Gu have been bickering like cats and dogs since they were kids. They act like they can't stand each other, but they're actually super close." "Yeah," Ning Rongrong agreed. "Both grandpas are so stubborn and proud, neither one wants to admit it first. It's hilarious." "Oh?" Tang Lan asked, smirking. "With your old personality, you probably egg them on all the time, huh?" Ning Rongrong's smile wavered, which made Ning Fengji chuckle a few times. Finally, someone could keep this little princess in check. "Dad!" Ning Rongrong shot him a glare. "Didn't you say you wanted to discuss the assembly line and get the supplies rolling as soon as possible?" Ning Fengji stopped laughing and gave Tang Lan a knowing look. Tang Lan threw Tang San under the bus. "Tang San's in charge of the whole bullet assembly line project. Talk it over with him, brother." "Full authority." Ning Fengji was a little surprised. That was a huge responsibility. "Why not oversee it yourself?" "Yep, full authority." Tang Lan repeated, emphasizing each word. "Young master, you have my trust." Hearing that, Tang San grinned. "That's my brother. In that case, Lan Di, why don't you head over to Blue Silver Park with Rongrong?" Ning Fengji suggested. Before Tang Lan could answer, Ning Rongrong had already grabbed his sleeve and was dragging him away. "Great. Talking shop is so boring. Let's go have some fun." No choice, Tang Lan could only give Tang San a look of encouragement. After all, he's been around the block twice. Even if Tang San was a bit of a pedant and a little self-centered, he was reliable when it came to his own interests. He wouldn't let anyone take advantage of him. He left with Ning Rongrong, feeling reassured, strolling through the 7 treasure glazed tile school. You couldn't miss the blue-silver grass growing everywhere. Disciples passed by, bowing respectfully. "Hello, Master Ning." "Hello, Sect Leader Tang." That the whole way, everyone recognized Tang Lan. And they were so polite. "I wasn't expecting that," Ning Rongrong admitted. "My dad sent out a memo before you got here, just to avoid a repeat of what happened last time." Thinking back to the Shrek Academy incident and the arrogance of those 7 treasure glazed tile school disciples, Tang Lan smiled. "Hopefully, it's not just for show. If the attitude doesn't really change, I might just have to replace you." Facing this teasing, Ning Rongrong, the young mistress of the 7 treasure glazed tile school, actually nodded in agreement. "After I got back, I looked into it and found out that tons of people were out there doing shady stuff, all in the name of the 7 treasure glazed tile school. They've made a lot of enemies for the sect. I never thought those people would be so brazen." Ning Rongrong gritted her teeth in anger. She'd just been spoiled and sheltered, but her heart wasn't really bad. While they were talking, they entered a manor, also covered in blue-silver grass, much stronger than what was outside. They were all over 1,000 years old. The 7 treasure glazed tile school and the Tiando Empire buy up blue-silver grass from all over the continent, Ning Rongrong explained. Starting with 100-year-old blue-silver grass, the price goes up by 10 gold soul coins for every 100 years. And it goes up by another 1,000 gold soul coins for every 1,000 years. Just imagine the cash. She didn't mention the price of the 10,000-year blue-silver grass because Tang Lan had already marked the location of the 57 10,000-year blue-silver grass patches. Tang Lan didn't respond. Right now, in his spiritual world, he could hear the cheers of his people. Buzz star. Buzz star. 9 beams of light shot up from a distance, reaching into the sky. The 1,000-year-old blue-silver grass around them wove itself into a carpet and moved on its own, carrying Tang Lan and Ning Rongrong to a faraway place. At the same time, spiritual power from Xingdian was integrating into Tang Lan's body, strengthening his soul. This was a small gift of gratitude, like taxes paid from subjects to an emperor who protected them, but a little bit, added to a little bit more, becomes a lot. Tang Lan's soul was growing at a perceptible speed. The blue-silver domain unfolded spontaneously, which, in turn, stimulated these 1,000-year-old blue-silver grass plants to briefly evolve into blue-silver emperors. As they became stronger, they gave back even more power and merged into the blue-silver field. When Tang Lan arrived at the center of the park, his blue-silver domain had evolved again, gaining a special effect, range entanglement. That's right, no need for seeds. You could directly summon the life-soul blue-silver emperor to ensnare enemies within the blue-silver field. If he paired it with the 3rd soul skill, life burial, he could turn the entire blue-silver field into a restricted zone. Tang Lan opened his eyes, delighted. The source of those 9 beams of light from before was exactly. Chapter 73. Tang San comes to seize the opportunity. Ultimate attributes. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. The source of those 9 light beams. Turns out they were 9 ancient blue-silver kings, thick as trees. The light beams converged, forming the figures of 9 elders. They all knelt before Tang Lan. "Hail, Emperor!" Ning Rongrong's jaw dropped. "These blue-silver kings can transform. Unbelievable." "Rise," Tang Lan said. Though they stood, they remained bowed, radiating respect. Leading them was the old blue-silver king who'd awakened Tang Lan's spirit in the first place. "Oh. Roused from your long slumber." Tang Lan smiled. "Last time I visited the ancestral grounds, you weren't stirring." The old blue-silver king raised a hand in salute. "After the emperor's friend transplanted us here, he nourished us day and night with herbal elixirs. With the help of the other blue-silver kings, our recovery accelerated. Besides us 9 blue-silver kings, who are over 80,000 years old, there are 11 blue-silver grasses exceeding 50,000 years and 34 over 10,000. Sect Master Ning saw to their transplantation as well. Tang Lan nodded, pleased. Ning Fengji had handled this impeccably. This was a key reason he'd agreed to house the Blue-Silver Kings within the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School. After all, the Tang sect was brand new, its resources a fraction of the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile Schools. Better to let them care for them for now. He could always transplant them later when the opportunity arose. Emperor, the old Blue-Silver King said softly, we 9 were born of the earth, without names. Would the Emperor grant us the honor of naming us? Naming, in Douluo continent, only the most respected elders held the right to bestow names. Tang Lan considered it, not wanting to name them individually, he settled on a single concept, the 9 palaces. You shall be called Qian Palace, Can Palace, Zhen Palace, Zhen Palace, Zhong Palace, Sun Palace, Li Palace, Kuan Palace, and Dui Palace, in that order. The eldest Blue-Silver King, now Qian Palace, knelt again to express his gratitude. Thank you, Emperor, for bestowing your name upon us. As your Emperor, I shall offer a gift of gratitude in return. As he spoke, the 9 Blue-Silver Kings flared with light, bathing the entire park in a radiance that outshone the sun, causing all the blue-silver grass to bloom. Ning Rongrong was swiftly ushered out of the park. Only Tang Lan remained within the blinding light, his spirit soul, the Blue-Silver Emperor, appearing spontaneously, devouring 99% of the energy. The remaining 1%, vast as the ocean, poured into Tang Lan's body, reshaping his muscles and bones. His soul power level began a slow, steady climb. Outside Blue-Silver Park, Chen Xian and Gu Rong abandoned their squabble and rushed over. First, they checked on Ning Rongrong to ensure she was unharmed. Then, thoroughly baffled, they squinted at the park, now completely enveloped in light. Rongrong, walk me through what just happened. Ning Rongrong was still a bit dazed. Subconsciously, she recounted everything she'd seen and heard. Chen Xian and Gu Rong exchanged knowing glances, both drawing the same conclusion. They knew Tang Lan and Tang San weren't ordinary folks, they were the descendants of titled Douluo Tang Hao and his 100,000-year-old soul beast wife, and now, it seemed, Tang Lan had inherited his mother's lineage as the Blue-Silver Emperor, earning the recognition of the Blue-Silver Grass clan. Well, ain't that a kick in the head? Gu Rong said, a forced smile plastered on his face. This kid's gonna get even more freakish. Wipe that grin off, you look like a fool. Chen Xian retorted. Hey! You old bonehead, didn't I just get the better of you? Gu Rong shot back. I seem to recall reducing you to rubble. Chen Xian didn't back down. Let's go. Back to our fight. You wish. Let's do it. And so, the 2 old codgers resumed their battle. Ning Rongrong breathed a sigh of relief. If Grandpa Bone thought it was a good thing, she wasn't worried. Ning Fengji and Tang San hurried over, concern etched on their faces. After hearing Ning Rongrong's explanation, everyone relaxed. Ning Fengji remarked with a touch of wonder, Lan Di protects the Blue-Silver Grass tribe. It's only right he should receive such an opportunity. Tang San's expression was a mix of emotions. On one hand, his brother's growing strength meant their support would be even more formidable, that was a plus, but why did Tang Lan keep stumbling upon these incredible opportunities? And him? Tang San refused to be outdone. He tried summoning his martial spirit and, clutching a strand of blue-silver grass, attempted to enter the park. He succeeded. A fraction of the blue-silver energy diverted and surged into Tang San's body. Tang Lan, now at the heart of the blue-silver domain, sensed it immediately. Seriously? Trying to steal his brother's luck? In a flash, the Millennium Blue-Silver grass at the park's entrance wrapped around Tang San and flung him out. Tang San was livid. He could feel the immense benefits those energies offered. And he'd just been tossed out. Like a cruel tease. Immediately, he tried to force his way in again, blue-silver grass martial spirit blazing. Thwack, he bounced back, no entry. Tang San's face twisted with frustration. If he hadn't gotten in at all, it wouldn't sting so much, but now that he'd tasted the power, he was being denied more. Meanwhile, Tang Lan received an unexpected notification. Host has prevented Tang San from receiving the baptism of blue-silver energy. cutting off the possibility of finally awakening the Blue-Silver Emperor, and robbing Tang San of a moderate amount of luck. Reward, Ultimate Attribute, Soul. The so-called ultimate attributes wouldn't appear until the later Peerless Tang Sect series. It's called the Ultimate Martial Spirit, as the name suggests. It is a martial spirit with ultimate attributes. This ultimate soul attribute granted by the system elevated the life soul Blue-Silver Emperor above all other soul attribute martial spirits and soul beasts. It granted the power to suppress, resist, and even become immune to soul attribute damage, and one's own soul attributes would be further enhanced. A net positive, all around. Not only would enemies of the same level stand little chance, even soul abilities 3 levels higher would prove ineffective against Tang Lan. Just because soul-based abilities were rare didn't diminish their power. Remember, mental strength was derived from the soul. Which meant Tang Lan's ultimate soul attributes also affected spiritual attacks. Purple divine light, dreamscapes, spirit squeezes, none of it mattered to Tang Lan. Thank goodness I didn't let the mistress in. This reward is amazing. When performing a whole show, you need to collect your energy first. At Tang Lan's command, the radiant energy within the park converged around him, forming a cocoon of light, not unlike the one he'd emerged from during his initial awakening, except this one was on a colossal scale, hundreds of meters in diameter, and energy continued to pour into the base of the cocoon. Tang San was green with envy. Why did it suddenly form a cocoon of light? Ning Rongrong asked pointedly. It seemed like it was being absorbed smoothly just now. Did something set it off? Tang San remained silent, stealing an opportunity from his brother. He knew he'd crossed a line. Ning Rongrong was about to continue her teasing when Ning Fengji cut her off. After all, he was Tang Lan's brother, and they couldn't afford to offend him. Mistress, perhaps we should continue discussing the specifics. Ning Fengji offered a graceful exit. Tang San nodded mutely. He glanced at the cocoon one last time before turning and walking away. A minute later, a large number of 7 treasure-glazed tile school disciples established a perimeter several kilometers around Blue-Silver Park. No one was allowed to enter and disturb Tang Lan. Tang Lan, meanwhile, absorbed the energy in peace. The sheer power this time was far greater than the energy from the Blue-Silver King Qian Palace. And the majority of that energy was being used to transform Tang Lan's body, taking his time and not rushing. After a full 25 days, Tang Lan finally absorbed most of the energy. His body, level, and soul had all reached their limits. Until next time. Chapter 74. Get the ultimate attributes again. Bug's 5th soul skill. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 74. Maxing out stats again. Bug level 5th soul skill. Bonus update for 40 reviews. Tang Lan, having eaten his fill, watched the remaining energy coalesce at his feet, forming soul rings. 2 days passed, a deep black soul ring settled into place as his 5th. Tang Lan opened his eyes. The 9-spent Qiangong craftsman knelt, bowed, then dissolved into nothing. Tang Lan's body had undergone another transformation. The age of this 5th soul ring was a bit much, it nearly drained them dry. He figured he'd be sleeping soon, but Ning Fengji wouldn't just stand by. He'd definitely bust out the big guns. Not a problem. Tang Lan activated his flying soul bone ability and floated in the air, carefully taking stock of his gains. First off, he was now level 51. For levels gained, saving him half a year of grueling work. Don't think that's a small thing. It took Tang San 5 years to go from level 43 to 59, and that was considered lightning fast. That's only an average of 3.2 levels per year. His body had been significantly strengthened, and the life of his soul ring increased to 50,100 years. An improvement of around 15,000 years. The strength of his soul rings was now comparable to a 7-ring soul sage, and he had 5 of them, each lasting 50,000 years. His 5th soul skill, Heart of Life Soul. It actively condenses soul power, internal energy, mental force, vitality, and other energies within his heart, whenever needed. It can be drawn upon at any time. This directly multiplied his stamina several times over, and combined with Xiao Yan's soul bone skill, reset, his survivability shot through the roof. Tang Lan was confident he could now face a regular 7-ring soul sage head-on without even activating his martial soul avatar. If his opponent's attack power wasn't high enough, they wouldn't be able to break free from the Life Soul Blue Silver Emperor's constraints. Then they could just wait to die, activate the martial soul's true form. Tang Lan could use his soul bones to kill them. But for a 50,000-year-old soul ring, surely there's more to it. Once the soul of life is fully condensed, it can be combined with the fourth soul skill, Soul Seed Puppet, to be implanted in the souls of others, not just to bolster their strength, but as a spare body. If Tang Lan's body ever dies completely, this Heart of Life soul will activate, and he'll take over the host's body immediately. That's right. Resurrection, again. Not a fixed point, in situ revival, but a remote one. As long as Tang Lan implants a few more Hearts of Life soul, could anyone in the world actually kill him? Absolutely insane. The effect of this hack far exceeded the limits of a 50,000-year soul ring. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to call it a 100,000-year one. How could this be? Don't forget, Tang Lan only absorbed 0.1% of the blue-silver energy, the Life Soul Blue-Silver Emperor absorbed 99% of it. For one thing alone, granting the Life Soul Blue-Silver Emperor the ultimate attribute, life. The effect is the same as the ultimate soul attribute. It was also the enhancement of the ultimate life attribute that gave the fifth soul skill, Heart of Life Soul, such a ridiculous effect. TSK. It's too bad your soul bones and storage ring would explode if you used the Heart of Life soul to resurrect. Otherwise, it would be perfect. Tang Lan accepted the advantage and acted the part. Now, Tang Lan could say without any exaggeration, no non-title Douluo could kill him anymore. Maybe I should find a contra and pick a fight. As he was thinking, Ning Fengji and his group arrived quickly. When Ning Rongrong saw Tang Lan from a distance, she screamed, covered her face, spun around, and stood still. Tang Lan looked down. His massive assets were flapping in the breeze, smooth and pristine. Right. His clothes and weights had all disintegrated. Thank goodness the Blue King's soul guide was still working. He pulled out a robe, put it on, and descended from the sky. Several people greeted Ning Fengji. Brother Lan, congratulations on your continued improvement. Ning Fengji congratulated. It's alright, nothing much. Just leveled up to 51 and got another soul ring. Tang Lan said modestly. Even with him holding back the full extent of his gains, Ning Fengji was still a little surprised. You can just get soul rings like that? But remembering Tang Lan's true identity, he understood. A transformed 100,000-year soul beast could condense its own soul rings. Ning Rongrong, who had caught up, was intrigued. Uncle Tang, how old is the soul ring? Tang Lan scanned the scene. Ning Fengji, Qian Renxue, Gu Rong, Ning Rongrong, they were all basically family, no point in hiding anything. About 50,000 years. Even the well-informed Ning Fengji, Qian Renxue, and Gu Rong twitched. Ning Rongrong covered her mouth, shocked. A 50,000-year soul ring? Isn't that what a seventh ring soul sage could handle? And that's still their seventh soul ring. This is your fifth soul ring. What the heck? But with all the commotion earlier, it made sense. Congratulations, Brother Lan. The Tang Sect is sure to be the champion of the Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite Tournament. Ning Fengji said sincerely. Then I'll gladly take your well wishes. Tang Lan said with a smile. Rongrong will be there then, and the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School can also make a name for itself. It's easy to discuss. After a few pleasantries, Qian Renxue said, Dugu Bo will return to Tiando City in 3 days. Should I bring him over? Brother Lan has an appointment with Poison Douluo. Ning Fengji said in surprise. That man is withdrawn and arrogant. He's not easy to deal with. You're a natural with him. Tang Lan waved his hand, refusing. Poison Douluo and I have business to discuss. There won't be any problems. Ning Fengji was still worried. Don't worry, Fengji, I'll accompany you that day, Qian Renxue said. Ning Fengji thought of something. Brother Lan, in 3 days, your Tang Clan Academy team will compete with the Tiando Royal Academy team. Poison Douluo's granddaughter, Dugu Yan, is on the team. How about we invite Poison Douluo to the competition? Then Uncle Gu, Uncle Jian, and I will watch together, that way, you're safe and worry-free. Tang Lan was taken aback. Has it only been a month? It feels like cultivating without time. Then please, brother, ask Uncle Jian to accompany us. Tang Lan nodded. I'm fine with that. Chen Xian agreed. It's a small matter, Ning Fengji said with a smile. Qinghe has been asking about you for weeks. He told me to tell you to find him as soon as possible after you wake up. Ning Fengji took out a golden token and handed it over. This is Qinghe's personal token. With it, you can enter and leave Tiando Palace freely. Tang Lan's eyes lit up. He's got the vast sea barrier. No problem, I'll be there right away. Please, brother, arrange for Garuda to take me back to the city. Ning Fengji shook his head. Brother Lan, you're making quite a stir and attracting a lot of attention. I don't feel comfortable with you going alone. It just so happens that it's time for Rongrong to return to Tangmen Academy. Uncle Jian, please escort Rongrong and Lan Di. Chen Xian raised his hand. His 7-kill sword martial soul turned into a giant sword and floated horizontally in front of them. He jumped onto the sword first. He tilted his head to signal Tang Lan and Ning Rongrong to come up. Ning Rongrong jumped up directly. Brother, and Uncle Bone, I'll head out first. Tang Lan said goodbye. I've handed over the manufacturing method for mobile phone chips to Qian Gong and the others. After recovering, they can start practicing. Brother Lan, don't worry about your work. Ning Fengji nodded with a smile. He watched the 7-kill sword rise and fly away. Chen Xian wasn't going very fast. Tang Lan was anxious. He wanted to get the vast sea barrier soon. After all, that's the heart of Poseidon, the core of the Trident artifact, and the gatekeeper to the 9 trials of Poseidon. If I get my hands on it, wouldn't that raise the rewards to the heavens? But Tang Lan didn't want to push it. Just as he was thinking about how to hint at it, his eyes suddenly froze. He understood Chen Xian's intention, just had a bug idea today. I will write it tomorrow, quack quack. Chapter 75 The Fusion Skill of Sword and Bone. Guidance to the Dusty Heart. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I watched as a bunch of Qibao glazed sect disciples, lugging around huge buckets filled with potent herbal concoctions, watered Lanyin Park, so, this is what Chen Xian wanted Tang Lan to see. Ning Rongrong explained, we got our hands on some super old herbs. We're boosting their strength and turning them into this liquid stuff that the blue-silver grass can soak right up. A single drop in a bath would work wonders. Tang Lan nodded, impressed. Talk about going all out. Letting the blue-silver kings chill with the Qibao glazed sect was a smart move. Of course, they weren't doing this out of the goodness of their hearts. They wanted those blue-silver kings pumping out product ASAP. Gotta figure those ancient blue-silver grass plants are top tier. Hopefully, they'll evolve into blue-silver kings themselves. It's a win-win, really. We were leaving Blue-Silver Park when the 7-killing sword suddenly sped up, becoming a streak of light headed straight for Tiando City. Whoa! Ning Rongrong lost her balance and stumbled into Tang Lan's arms. Tang Lan chuckled. With her connection to Chen Xian, Ning Rongrong had hitched a ride on the 7-killing sword countless times. How could she still make such a rookie mistake? Either one of them did it on purpose, or they both did. Steadying Ning Rongrong, Tang Lan didn't let her get a word in before asking, Uncle Jian, you're still on the 2nd level of the 9-yang divine art, right? Tendon changing and marrow cleansing. Chen Xian's mood shifted at that. Xiao Lan, the way you channel soul power is incredible. I have a feeling that once you've completely cleansed your tendons and marrow, you'll jump up at least 1 level. Your potential will be off the charts. If other titled Douluo caught wind of this, they'd be storming Tang Sect. So, how about I set you up with a titled Douluo who's stuck in a rut and have them oversee things at Tangmen? Score. This worldly mindset really pays off. I appreciate that, Uncle Jian. Tang Lan added, but the 9-yang divine art is super strong and young, not the best fit for women. If their styles clash, it won't be nearly as effective. Chen Xian knew that already. Renxue filled me in. Too bad. Looks like I'm stuck battling that old codger solo. Wait, did Tang Lan detect a hint of excitement in his voice? These two had a deep bond. They might not live together, but they'd definitely go down fighting together. That thought gave Tang Lan a chill. An idea struck him. Uncle Jian, have you checked out the Tang Sect encyclopedia I put together? Qian Renxue shook his head. I'm a titled Douluo. Most of the stuff in there isn't relevant to me. I just skimmed it. Fair enough. The 9 Yang Divine Art is the real prize for titled Douluo. But that's just the first level, and worldly thoughts are only in the first 3. When you get back, take a look at the chapter on martial soul fusion. Tang Lan said with a smile, it mentions how the auxiliary gods, the god of cookery and the goddess of 9 colors, can pull off the god-level fusion skill, Resurrection Divine Light, because they're so tight. You and Uncle Bone might seem like total opposites, but you both know how much you matter to each other. Maybe you could pull off a martial soul fusion, too. Qian Renxue's first reaction was, no way. Absolutely not. That old bonehead isn't worthy of fusing with me. What a joke, Tang Lan just smiled. He'd thrown out the idea. Whether they ran with it was their call. Besides, he wasn't even sure if a martial soul fusion was possible. Renxue, on the other hand, was buzzing with excitement. Grandpa Jian. You and Grandpa Bones have a chance. Qian Renxue was about to protest when Renxue grabbed his arm and pleaded, Grandpa Jian, Renxue would love to see you two do a soul fusion. It would be awesome, right? Super awesome. Qian Renxue was rolling his eyes inside, but how could he say no to his precious granddaughter? Fine. I'll give it a shot when I get back. Yes. Renxue cheered. I'm calling Grandpa Bones the second we land. Qian Renxue, who'd been half-assing it, sighed. He'd have to take this seriously, he thought hard but shook his head. Our attributes don't mesh. Don't get your hopes up, Renxue. Renxue didn't know what to say, so she turned to Tang Lan. Uncle Tang, what do you think? That this girl knew how to play the field. Tang Lan just cut to the chase and summoned his attached soul bone, the ice jade scorpion tail. Uncle Jian, this thing can condense ultimate ice. My original soul bone skill was the freezing poison needle, which is pretty basic. But my 9 Yang divine skill is all about ultimate fire. When that fire slams into this ice, it creates a huge blast and launches it with crazy power. Once it pierces someone, it unleashes all that pent-up energy inside them and boom. Creates a brand new soul bone skill, the Inferno Poison Needle. With that extreme ice and fire, you could definitely pull off something like that. You and Uncle Bone have different strengths, but you're not exactly enemies. How will you know if you don't try? Qian Renxue molded over. Instead of forcing those opposite forces to work together, what if they detonated them and used the destruction? That was some out-of-the-box thinking, but Renxue was all about the ice jade scorpion tail. Uncle Tang, that's the tailbone attachment from the Tang Sect encyclopedia, right? Yep. Tang Lan nodded. The soul bone at home wasn't a good fit for my style. I got this regeneration soul bone skill, so I absorbed it to see what would happen, figuring I could chop it off if things went south. A casual explanation, but Renxue's eyes lit up. Tang Lan was so dedicated to his research. It was beyond attractive. Qian Renxue was also impressed. You can write the Tang Sect encyclopedia, this kind of dedication is commendable. I will read this book carefully after I go back. Tang Lan never expected this. A simple lie could still create a good character. Uncle Jian, herbs with yang attributes will speed up the body tempering. When the 9 Yang divine art reaches the 3rd level, it will transform into the most powerful and yang internal power of the 9 Yang divine art. At this time, the human body is like a furnace. Herbs with high age and yang attributes will be burned into pure medicinal power, which can be absorbed without any obstacles and quickly increase the level. But the premise is that the vintage must be high, with 5,000 years as the base and 10,000 years as the best quality. When Qian Renxue heard this, he suddenly looked back. Won't this method of improvement shake the foundation? Tang Lan shook his head decisively. The so-called shaking of the foundation ultimately means that the human body cannot fully digest the herbal medicine, and the medicine residue blocks the meridians. When the internal energy of the nine-yang divine skill is strong enough to reach yang, the remaining medicinal residue will be burned cleanly, and naturally the meridians will not be blocked. Qian Renxue nodded thoughtfully, his expression gradually became more exciting. Chapter 76 Fire Dance enters the Tang sect. His temper is as violent as his figure. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. There's definitely a way to improve things. Xiao Yan, I wouldn't have thought of it if you hadn't reminded me. I'll have Feng Ji buy extra when I get back this time, and I'll give you one too, Xiao Yan. Ha ha ha. Qian Renxue was grinning from ear to ear. He was probably daydreaming about kicking Gu Rong's, but after a quick promotion, the 7-killing sword suddenly picked up speed, hurtling towards Tiando City. Just 10 minutes, he'd take care of them right at the city gates. Tiando City has rules. Titled Douluo aren't allowed to just fly right in. Rongrong and Xiaolan, you guys can head in on your own. I'm heading back first. See you in 3 days. Qian Renxue called out, then, he shot into the sky, disappearing in a flash. He just couldn't wait. Tang Lan silently gave Gu Rong half a second of pity in his heart. Too bad his attributes didn't match the 9-yang divine art. Grandpa Bones is in for it, Ning Rongrong said gleefully. It's a good thing, though. Otherwise, we'd always be evenly matched, and neither of us would ever admit the other was better. A martial soul fusion skill would be impossible. Tang Lan burst out laughing. If Gu Rong knew what his precious little princess was thinking, he'd be heartbroken. Ignoring the curious stares around them, Tang Lan turned and headed for the city gate, with Ning Rongrong right behind him. Head back to Tangmen Academy, Tang Lan said casually. I want to hit up Tiando Palace. He wanted to find Qian Renxue and snag the vast sea universe cover. Ning Rongrong just nodded and smiled, not saying a word. Tang Lan didn't pay it any mind. Since this was the capital of the Tiando Empire, Tang Lan didn't want to attract too much attention. He'd just hop on the number 11 bus to get there. But he didn't get far. A wall of people stopped him in his tracks. The crowd was dense, and every one of them had a soul power aura. Were they all soul masters? Even in the capital, something felt off. Ning Rongrong, however, didn't seem surprised at all. While he was wondering, the crowd started moving forward, clearing out a large area in a flash. Tang Lan's gossipy instincts kicked in, and he followed. Qian Renxue had been waiting for a month, and now was showtime. He picked up the pace. He saw armored guards lined up along the road. They all had sharp eyes. You could tell they were elite soldiers. Tang Lan suddenly had a hunch. Could this be? Farther ahead, Tang Lan spotted some familiar faces. Lu Erlong and Yu Shaojiang. One was keeping order, and the other was checking information. The crowd was quickly divided into two groups, academy students and outer disciples. As for the inner disciples, they'd have to wait for Tang Lan's okay. Next batch. Lu Erlong called out. The person in front of Tang Lan immediately stepped forward, leaving him standing out in the open. You can't exactly interview your own sect, right? He was about to turn around and leave, but someone in the back with a short fuse started complaining. Hey! You're a big guy, why are you being so annoying? That it was a girl's voice, and she sounded young. Tang Lan turned to see who it was. She looked familiar, with short, fiery red hair, a fair face, and delicate features. She was a cute, spunky little thing. Her temper was as fiery as her hair. What are you looking at? She glared. Either go up or get out. What are you doing standing here? That the commotion caught the attention of the Imperial Guards. A small squad quickly came over. What's going on? Don't block the line. Everyone, move aside. Tang Lan. Ning Rongrong was watching the show with a smile, not intending to say a word. It was kind of funny to see the girl who'd wanted to sign up at his place get scolded. Why should I move? I finally squeezed my way in. The short-haired girl yelled angrily. This guy's standing in front of the line. Why don't we just kick him out? Crash, the squad leader suddenly knelt down. I'm guilty of failing to recognize sect leader Tang immediately, that he had recognized Tang Lan. Tang Lan waved his hand irritably, telling the team to get back to their posts. Nobody's ever seen me, so it's a good thing he reacted. Then, using his height, he looked down at the short-haired girl. He already knew who she was. Huo Wu was a student at Blazing Fire Academy, one of the 5 element academies in the Qian Empire, and the daughter of the Dean of Blazing Fire Academy, the soul of the future Blazing Academy team and the main control soul master. So, why was she here at the Tangmen registration office? Huo Wu knew Tang Lan's identity but didn't seem panicked, though she was a little more restrained. Are you Tang Lan, the leader of the Tang clan? Huo Wu asked bluntly. I'm willing to join the Tang clan, but I don't want to study at the Tang clan academy. Is that okay? As she spoke, 3 yellow and purple soul rings appeared beneath her feet, showing a soul power level of 30. She was showing off her talent. When Tang Lan heard this, he realized the little girl was here for the 9 Yang magic skill. The 9 Yang divine art, known for its overwhelming power, had a fatal attraction for fire attribute martial souls. He'd let it slide if he didn't know. But Tang Lan had released the first level of 9 Yang magic in the Tang Sect encyclopedia. Anyone who cultivated a fire attribute martial spirit would learn about it quickly, but still, wasn't Huo Wu thinking a little too wishfully? She wanted the skills but didn't want to leave Blazing Fire Academy. Did she want it both ways? While the sect didn't generally restrict admission to academies, the Tang Sect Academy was clearly gearing up for the Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite Competition. As one of the 5 element academies of the Qian Empire, Blazing Fire Academy would be its rival. Wasn't she just seeing Tang Lan as the enemy? Don't rush to say no, Huo Wu spoke up loudly. I have an innate ability called soul fusion. You can concentrate the maximum output of each soul ring onto one soul ring to unleash soul skills that exceed the limit. Generally, high-level martial spirits can master this innate ability. I can teach you how to master it. What do you say? Fine, this Huo Wu wasn't too dumb. She came prepared. Too bad. Ahem. Ning Rongrong raised her hand. Sorry, I know this ring-melting talent skill. If Uncle Tang wants to learn it, I'll teach him. Huo Wu's face changed on the spot. She looked at Ning Rongrong carefully, as if trying to memorize her, or maybe she recognized her. Humph. This lady will remember this. I'll pay it back sooner or later. After her harsh words, Huo Wu simply shook her head and left without hesitation. Tang Lan couldn't help but smile. This Huo Wu was extremely talented. Like Ning Rongrong, she'd lived a privileged life since childhood. She had a proud and somewhat arrogant personality, a short temper, was irritable, and was aggressive and domineering. Did she really think she could cause such a fuss in Tangmen and leave safely? Someone stop her. Crash. The Imperial Guards, who were always paying attention, swarmed up and surrounded Huo Wu. Huo Wu was a little confused. What did this mean? She immediately activated her martial spirit, a shadow of herself. The 3 soul rings lit up again, exuding full momentum. It put a lot of pressure on the Imperial Guards, who were just ordinary people, but nobody took a step back. Huo Wu also didn't dare to make a move. She was ruthless, but not stupid. These were the Imperial Guards of Tiando City. If she attacked them, it wouldn't matter whether she was justified or not, things would blow up in the end. Huo Wu glared at Tang Lan. Is the master of a sect just going to let ordinary people stand in front? Tang Lan was helpless. He glanced at Ning Rongrong, who was covering her mouth and snickering, and said angrily. Don't you think she looks a lot like you before? But when Ning Rongrong heard this, she said. Chapter 77. Things didn't go well, but you still want benefits? Additional update 40. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ning Rongrong didn't deny Tang Lan's teasing. Yep. I used to hate that. Thank goodness I met you, Uncle Tang. Otherwise, who knows who we would have offended. She leaned in close to Tang Lan, not missing a chance to cozy up. Tang Lan rolled his eyes. He summoned the Life Soul Blue Silver Emperor, and 5 soul rings, yellow, purple, and black, blazed beneath his feet. His level 51 soul power slammed down on Huo Wu. Lu Erlong and Yu Xiaojiang, who'd been heading over because of the commotion, froze in their tracks. Wow. Hadn't seen him in a month, and he'd jumped 4 levels. Huo Wu clearly hadn't expected someone younger than her to be so powerful, her prized talent, but her pride wouldn't let her back down. She forced herself to ask, "What do you want?" "You mess up, you pay the price," Tang Lan said casually. "What happens if your trouble disrupts registration?" That the squad leader stepped forward. "Sir, according to Qiando laws, anyone who disrupts public order can be detained from 3 days to 3 years, depending on the severity." Tang Lan gave him an approving look. The guy was sharp. "Lock her up for 3 days. Let it be a warning," Tang Lan said with a wave of his hand. It was actually lenient, but Huo Wu had been spoiled rotten. She'd never been so humiliated. "How dare you?" Huo Wu snapped. "My father is the Dean of Blazing Fire Academy. He's a Marquis of the Qiando Empire. Nobody here would touch me." Ning Rongrong shook her head. Her dad was still the head of the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School. Tang Lan still played Russian roulette, which scared her to death. Tang Lan was amused. He couldn't resist needling her. "Seriously. What can you even do? Tell me." Huo Wu opened her mouth, speechless. She was most proud of her talent. But standing in front of Tang Lan, she burst out, "I'm standing up for my father. If you're so tough, why don't you lean on your dad?" That Yu Xiaojiang was speechless. His dad was Haotian Douluo. Was Huo Wu's dad even worth mentioning? Even the emperor of the Qiando Empire addressed him as Haotian Crown. Tang Lan sighed. In the anime, Huo Wu seemed like someone who loved hard and hated hard, but face to face, he just wanted to smack her. Coming to his turf to provoke the sect leader. Would that make him look good? What about the Tang sect's reputation? He was about to lay down the law when the sound of hooves grew loud. Qian Renxue, disguised as Xue Qinghe, led the way, and the crowd parted. He dismounted. Some imperial guards came forward to explain. Qian Renxue's eyes locked on Huo Wu. He immediately intervened, saying, "Are you saying my people can't touch you?" Huo Wu wasn't stupid. She knew better than to contradict the prince. Her father couldn't protect her then, but she didn't want to give in. She just stood there silently. Qian Renxue didn't waste words. He waved his hand. "Take her in. The Blazing Fire Academy can redeem her from the Tang sect." He didn't specify a term. She would be detained, and Blazing Fire Academy had to go through the Tang sect to get her out. How would they get her back without paying a steep price? Huo Wu realized this and opened her mouth, but she didn't know what to say. "'Cause a scene. With the prince here." She wasn't an idiot. Beg for mercy. She couldn't swallow her pride. The imperial guards didn't care. They grabbed her and escorted her away. Neither Qian Renxue nor Tang Lan paid her any attention. "Qinghe got here fast. I was going to find you at the palace," Tang Lan said. "Then we ran into that." Qian Renxue smiled charmingly. "It's the same if I come over. Can we talk inside?" "Of course. Please." Qian Renxue and Tang Lan walked side by side. Yu Xiaojiang led the way, leaving Lu Erlong to manage the scene. Ning Rongrong helped Lu Erlong. On the way, Yu Xiaojiang told Tang Lan about the changes over the last month. They were approaching the Tangmen Academy. The students' uniform styles were the same, but in the second half, it was Tangmen sect territory. The newly recruited outer sect disciples wore Tang sect-style windbreakers. Tang San must have designed it. Tang Lan didn't care. It would make Tang San feel like he belonged, and get him to work more. Beyond the outer gate was the core of the sect. Zhu Zhuqing and the inner sect members practiced here. Tangmen has acquired about 25 square miles of land surrounding us. Some has been turned into production lines, warehouses, dorms, and so on. Most of it is for future expansion. Tang Lan nodded, pleased. Including the old Lanba Academy, Tang's sect covered an area of about 25 square miles. It occupied a corner of Qiando City. The Tang Gate was near the south gate, less than 60 miles from the Qiando Palace in the city center. Any other sect, and the Qiando royal family would never allow it, but Tangmen was different, because the Qiando royals saw the Tang sect as their arsenal. Of course, watching it under their noses was reassuring. As for the future, the Tang sect was still new. Who knew what might happen? Soon, Yu Xiaojiang led Tang Lan and Qian Renxue to a building. Sect Master, this is your palace. The Hall Master lives nearby, and the first generation of disciples are nearby. Call us if anything happens. I'll be going now. Seeing Yu Xiaojiang close the door respectfully, Tang Lan was suspicious. This guy, why was he acting like that? Was he just following the rules? Had he really changed? Or? Xiaolan, Qian Renxue said, I heard from Uncle Ning that the 12-year-old five-ring Soul King is unprecedented. Tang Lan smiled modestly. Just luck, not talent. Luck is a strength, Qian Renxue said emotionally. It's fate, we have no choice. Was she thinking about her mother? Qian Renxue snapped back to attention, she had to be vigilant. I've also heard about the exchange competition between the two academies. Qian Renxue frowned. I couldn't get the Vast Sea Universe cover soul guidance device directly. But I convinced my father to make it a reward for the winning team. The winning team will also get a spot in the Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite Tournament and go straight to the finals. Tang Lan blinked, a guaranteed spot. Those were usually for the Tiando Royal Academy's main team, he was using it as a consolation prize for an exchange competition. I pushed for it, Qian Renxue said. I promised it to you, so I had to make it happen somehow. She'd added something to make up for it. Tang Lan was going to let the kids handle the team exchange match, now he had to get involved, he said, you're joking. It's enough to have a chance. But he didn't mention the 9 Sun magic skills or the exclusive firearms trading rights he'd been promised. Why ask for rewards when the job wasn't done? Qian Renshue's smile faltered. Wasn't that compensation enough? The atmosphere soured. Chapter 78 Get Another Soul Bone. Trick Qian Renxue. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You haven't even done anything yet. Why are you already asking for favors? Tang Lan was silent, lost in thought. Qian Renxue waited impatiently for him to speak, but understood his hesitation. Still, she couldn't help feeling a surge of annoyance. She'd been running around tirelessly, just for the chance to secure this vast universe. Only after Emperor Shui agreed to offer it as a prize for the exchange competition, and even then, she had to sacrifice all the recommended spots originally reserved for the Tiando Royal Academy, had he even considered what she'd given up. Despite her anger, Qian Renxue, seasoned by years of undercover work, maintained her composure. She decided to wait another 3 days, then, rising to her feet, she said goodbye. Xiaolan, you just got back, you must be swamped. I'll be going now. Tang Lan stood and walked her to the door. I'll see you out. Qian Renxue didn't object. Casually, she remarked, I heard you're giving away a 10,000-year soul bone as an internal prize for the competition. Huh? Who leaked that? Tang Lan asked, feigning surprise. It's just a 10,000-year soul bone. If you want it, Qinghe, you can have it. He actually took out the Tiger Eagle left arm bone and offered it to Qian Renxue. Could Qian Renxue accept it? She already had a complete set of angel soul bones at home. Absorbing another left arm bone would be disastrous, and giving it to someone else. Neither Shui Qinghe nor Qian Renxue could do that. Tang Lan knew this, which is why he offered it so freely. Qian Renshue's expression softened slightly. She pushed the Tiger Eagle left arm bone back. Just kidding, Xiaolan. Soul bones are valuable, but I wouldn't want you to break your promise, would I? As it happens, I acquired a soul bone myself not long ago. I'll donate it as a bonus this time. You can present it on my behalf, Xiaolan. Qian Renxue tapped her storage ring, withdrew a cyan right leg bone, and handed it to Tang Lan. This is a 6,000-year-old Philian silver fox right leg bone. I won't bore you with the details of the spirit beast. Tang Lan was quite surprised. He'd only been teasing Qian Renxue, so why had she brought a gift? Then I'll thank you on behalf of the disciples. Tang Lan grinned. You're so generous, Qinghe. I can't be a cheapskate. Tang Lan took the Philian silver fox's right leg bone, condensed a ball of spiritual light in his hand, and floated it in front of Qian Renxue. Qian Renxue hesitated, cautious. She stalled for time. Is this using mental power to transmit information directly to the brain? Even a titled Douluo might not be able to do that. You never cease to amaze me, Xiao Yan. It's just a simple trick, nothing special, Tang Lan said modestly. At the same time, he sensed a slight fluctuation in mental power emanating from the guards accompanying Qian Renxue. Not surprisingly, it was one of the titled Douluo protecting her, testing the spiritual light ball for any harm. Tang Lan wasn't worried. He wasn't foolish enough to do something so obvious. That would be like walking straight into the lion's den. Qian Renxue, reassured, absorbed the spiritual light ball with a smile. She had obtained the first 3 levels of the 9 yang magic. Seizing the opportunity while Qian Renxue was engrossed, Tang Lan leaned in and placed his hand on her back. Don't resist, he said. I'm going to take you through another round of training. Qian Renxue's hands trembled, fighting the urge to retaliate. Instead, she suppressed most of her soul power. She was now a 6th ring soul emperor, which didn't match Xueqing's status. At the same time, she signaled the titled Douluo guarding her not to interfere. Tang Lan's internal force entered Qian Renxue's body without causing any disruption. You've grasped the first level of the 9 sun magic skills, Qinghe, Tang Lan said. Good. Now, I'll guide you to the 2nd level and temper your body. Let your soul power flow with mine. Tang Lan patiently instructed Qian Renxue, acting like a helpful friend. But secretly, he sent a soul seed, filled with his spiritual power and protected by the scorching internal energy of the 9 yang divine art. Following Qian Renxue's breath, it entered her body. Qian Renxue's focus was entirely on the internal power of the 9 yang divine art. This pure and intense internal energy was far superior to her grandfather Qian Douluo's. If her grandfather's radiant soul power was like the early morning sun, then Tang Lan's burning soul power was like the midday sun, scorching and blinding. It was perfectly suited for her spirit. Even better, if the Angel Legion could practice the 9 yang divine art, their strength would increase by a whole level. These discoveries thrilled Qian Renxue. She didn't notice the dirty things that entered her body and settled in her soul. Tang Lan smiled. With this soul seed in place, Qian Renxue was harmless. Then he realized something else. The internal power of 9 yang divine skill was incredibly compatible with Qian Renxue. Xiao Wu could practice the 9 yang magic to replenish her yang energy. But she could only practice the first 2 levels. Yet Qian Renxue could ignore it completely. Normally, the yang energy from the 9 yang divine skill would make the body stronger. Muscles would harden, the body would become more robust, the Adam's apple would become more prominent, and the beard would grow thicker. But none of that happened to Qian Renxue. The yang energy simply vanished. Tang Lan guessed that her seraph martial spirit was absorbing it, using it to nourish itself. TSK. Too bad. I was hoping to see Qian Renxue with a beard, but now Qian Renshue's soul power had been converted into the internal power of the 9 yang divine skill, combined with the soul seed. If she ever fought Tang Lan, he could drain her internal energy from a distance, and to get rid of that internal force, she would have to either use more advanced techniques or restart training. Qian Renxue could do neither. She would never recover. Also, how could she possibly keep such a valuable technique from the spirit hall? Since Qian Renxue was so compatible, Qian Douluo would not be able to resist it. And what about the worship halls and elder halls? Except for those with incompatible attributes, like Ghost Douluo, who could resist switching to this training method? Finally, Tang Lan pulled back his hand and said specifically. This 2nd level will temper your body, cleanse your marrow, and improve your overall potential. If you are stuck at a bottleneck, it will push you through it. You can use fire attribute herbs that are more than 10,000 years old to speed up the process. After that, you can absorb fire attribute herbs without any side effects to increase your level, provided your mental strength is strong enough. Qian Renshue's eyes shone with excitement. The 9 yang divine art was unbelievable. Universal. It had to be shared throughout the spirit hall. This alone would make the spirit hall stronger. Those titled Douluo who were stuck could benefit greatly, as long as their attributes weren't incompatible. You are truly gifted. Qian Renxue said sincerely. How about I trade half of the Tiando Empire for your assistance? Tang Lan noticed that Qian Renxue was referring to herself as I instead of Qinghe, meaning she was using Qian Renshue's identity to recruit him. If I don't take advantage of this, I'd be a fool. Chapter 79 Zhu Zhuqing takes the initiative. 100,000-year soul bone. You are listening at novelfull.audio. If this fleece isn't harvested, how long will it last? Forget about even half the country. Tang Lan smiled. Unless your highness can offer me other treasures. Like external soul bones, 100,000-year soul bones, 100,000-year soul rings, things like that. Then, maybe we can talk. Tang Lan used your highness to address Xue Qinghe, the loyal crown prince of the Heaven Do Empire. After all, he'd already accepted the guy's gifts. If you, Xue Qinghe, turn out to be Qian Renxue in disguise, your investment is going to blow up in your face big time. You might even have to avenge Xue Qinghe. But Qian Renxue didn't catch the hidden meaning. How could she possibly know that Tang Lan had seen through her true identity? She was taking it seriously. Tang Lan possessed a firearms soul guide and displayed such extraordinary talent. If she could recruit him, she could control him for life and make him the star of the spirit hall. Hu Liena and the Golden Generation. They'd all be second stringers, but forget about the external soul bone. That was a rare commodity. Qian Renxue only knew about one set, her own angel soul bone set, definitely not giving that to Tang Lan, 100,000-year soul ring. The Tang Sect encyclopedia said there were two deep in the Star Do Great Forest, but those alien species, like the Titan giant ape and the azure bull python, were more than enough to give Spirit Hall a headache. That was their territory. After all, if a tidal Douluo went too far, it could trigger a beast tide. Maybe she should ask Grandpa to step in. Worth considering. As for the last option, 100,000-year soul bone, she actually had a lead. She knew the second shrine was dedicated to the golden crocodile Douluo, and his ninth soul skill came from a 100,000-year soul ring, but she had never heard of him having a 100,000-year soul bone. Maybe he hadn't absorbed it yet. That was normal. He might be saving it for future generations, to help them break through barriers, something like that, possible. I'll reply and have Grandpa ask. I'm sure once he's converted to the 9-yang magic art, Grandpa will understand how important Tang Lan is. Thinking this, Qian Renxue smiled. Alright, I'll see what I can do. But if I find something, Xiao Yan, don't back out. Tang Lan's smile widened. A man's gotta be true to his word, right? You can't take it back. Qian Renxue pondered those two sentences, looking at Tang Lan. She felt a little confused, but she quickly regained her composure. She praised him, just as expected of the guy who wrote the Tang Sect encyclopedia. You really know how to talk. Tang Lan returned a few polite words. Qian Renxue couldn't wait to leave. Watching Qian Renxue go, the grin on Tang Lan's face was wider than a Barrett rifle. He really wondered what kind of goodies Qian Renxue would come up with. Shoot. He'd set the bar too high. 50,000-year soul bones would have been fine. He could always get rewards through Tang San. What a mistake. I'll find a way to bring it up next time. Thinking this over, Tang Lan messaged Lan Yinqiao, then he turned and headed toward the inner training ground. Zhao Wuji, Zhu Zhuqing, and the others were training there. Zhu Zhuqing seemed to sense something, and she turned to see Tang Lan from afar. She became a blur, rushing over and launching herself into his arms. Tang Lan quickly hugged her, thinking, after melting the iceberg, she really was enthusiastic. Had it only been a month since they last met? Quick! Give it to me. Zhu Zhuqing said urgently, your 9-yang divine skill internal energy. Tang Lan. All right. Looks like he was paying out of pocket, but seeing Zhu Zhuqing's eagerness, Tang Lan didn't hesitate. The massive 9-yang divine skill internal energy surged into her body, filling her to the brim. Like an octopus, Zhu Zhuqing hugged Tang Lan tightly to increase contact. Her body greedily absorbed the energy, and her momentum steadily increased. This made Oscar and the others, who had been snickering, suddenly realize Something was up. Zhu Zhuqing was about to snap. There was a faint sound of something breaking. Zhu Zhuqing's level had broken through to level 30. Surprised and delighted, she kissed Tang Lan on the cheek. Moi. Tang Lan was shocked. Was she always this forward? Oscar said dramatically, we're still here, guys. Way to go, bro. Tang San gave a thumbs up. Dai Mubai said nothing, a smile on his face, his eyes full of blessing. He had already moved on, but... Damn it. Shut up. A green figure rushed forward and glared at Zhu Zhuqing. It was Meng Yiran. She was the candidate Tang Lan had approved from the start, no review needed, she was automatically an inner disciple, and Meng Yiran didn't even try to hide it back then. She just had a crush on Tang Lan. She had come to Tangmen for him, and then she saw this, of course, she was furious. Tang Lan suddenly understood, so, that was why Zhu Zhuqing was being so enthusiastic. Breaking through the barrier was just part of it, it was also about marking her territory. Tang Lan took advantage of the situation, wrapped his arm around Zhu Zhuqing's waist, and faced everyone. I'm back. Tang Lan said with a smile, the exchange competition is in 3 days. You guys ready? Don't worry, Sect Master. Dai Mubai said confidently. I'm already looking forward to it. Oscar flexed his muscles. Wouldn't it be fun if they knew support soul masters can also throw down? Bro. We'll win for sure. Everyone patted their chests to show their commitment. At that moment, Ning Rongrong arrived from a distance, responding to the message Lan Yin Chao had sent. Tang Lan took out the right leg bone of the flying silver fox in one hand, immediately. All eyes focused on the soul bone. Bro. Tang San said loudly, that's not the tiger eagle's left arm bone. A new soul bone. Everyone looked at Tang Lan expectantly, their eyes shining. That's right. Tang Lan smiled and said, this is a personal reward from Prince Xue Qinghe. It comes from the right leg bone of the 6,000-year-old spirit beast flying silver fox, a small spirit beast known for its speed. The soul bone skill is most likely related to acceleration, escape, etc. Suitable for all of you. Same rules, whoever performs the best in this team competition gets it. Wow. Another soul bone reward. The Sect Master is awesome. Oscar cheered, without you, would the prince even notice us? The Sect Master is amazing. His left leg bone of the phoenix-tailed coxcomb snake didn't conflict with the flying silver fox's right leg bone and he could compete for this one. He couldn't compete for the 10,000-year one. Even this 6,000-year one was great. Uncle Tang is the best. Ning Rongrong's eyes also glowed, you even took out 2 soul bones. My dad never gives us these things. Soul bones were rare, even the 7 treasure glazed tile school didn't have them in stock. Sect Master, I can't wait any longer. Dai Mubai was burning with fighting spirit. As for the original tiger eagle left arm bone, he only had some hope of competing for it, but the competitors were Tang Lan's girlfriend and Tang Lan's brother, very difficult, only if he did something heroic to turn the tide, but now. With another soul bone, his chances were much better. After all, as the sect leader, Tang Lan couldn't just give all the good stuff to those close to him, right? The situation now was, Tang San and Zhu Zhuqing were competing for the tiger eagle's left arm bone. The others were competing for the flying silver fox's right leg bone. Compared to the excitement of the others, Tang San and Meng Yiran had completely different expressions. Tang San had some displeasure on his face. Why did he have to compete for everything?